Your starting grid is here. First, Nation Bachner, second Lopes, third Khan, fourth Schmitz, fifth Stillian, sixth Star, Alex, Hamish, Oscar, and Yuko from 7 to 10, Felix, Nash, Hedry, Louis, and Sabo. Then it's Chetanko and Shenmue. Hello guys, it's Raymond here. Let's have a look at today's Germany Grand Prix. 5 lights on. Now 5 lights out, and here we go. Lopes got the greatest start. He's trying to chasing his teammate. Khan is fighting for the third, and from third to sixth are both fighting here. Lopes is overtaking his teammate. What a greatest start for Lopes and Mercedes. Star is now overtake Stillian and getting the fourth, the sixth. Okay, we got 4 people start with hard tires today, and also 4 people start with medium. The other guys start with soft. The fight in the background is really hard, and Hedley is dropping down to the 18th. Yuko and Hamish is fighting for P5. And now Star is joining this competition now. Stillian is trying to chase him. Alex, Baspa, and now we can see that Hedry already drops to the 20s, so it doesn't look good for the guy which is on hard tires. The first lap has finished. Bafna is now the first, Lopes the second, Schmitz the third, Khan the fourth, Hamish the fifth, Yuko the sixth. Nishin Bachna is got the fastest first sector. Third. The cars are now one by one into the DRS train, and have a look at this. Scar can just overtake Michael Schmitz. What a greatest overtake here. Oh, we can see there from Hamish and Yuko, there's already a train from the 6th. From the 5th and 6th. Every car is forced to below them and overtake Lev, and his teammate Savo overtake him too. Both Alpine drivers didn't sub a lamp during the quali, and their car is really bad. Now let's put on to Mercedes. Lopes just overtake Shen Bagna. He did it. Now he's up to P1. What an amazing overtake. Nowadays Mercedes is not as strong as before, but in Germany Grand Prix they show how good they can do. Look at Star. He's a rookie in Ferrari but behaved really well. Now it's lap 3 just finished. Actually, you should notice Hedry is just got from 12th to 17th. Now 18th. It seems like the soft tires didn't get enough grip now. I think the drivers will box in 1 or 2 laps. Yes, for example, look at Louis Baspa. His tires got really bad situation now. Oh, look at this. Shinat Bafna is trying to chasing Lopes, but his tires are both looks not well. Alex Berger, the Williams drivers enter the pit now. The cars from back are all into the pit. Mercedes Civil War is continuing, but I think they will into the pit this lap. Michael Schmitz. Okay, now the guys which is on medium tires and hard tires, they've got a chance to fight that. Look at this. Hamish is overtake Yuko. I think Yuko will box this time because his tires is already very bad. They're losing grip now. And Star, the guy which is on a hard tire, will became in the top. Nishan Bachna haven't pit now, but okay, Lopes has entered the pit. Jesus Christ. Nation didn't go into the pit, so he will not be overtake, I think. Okay, now the guys with medium tires are also boxed. Now only the guys, oh, it's very dangerous. Oh, the pit right. Most guys has entered the pit except the guys still with the hard tires. And I don't understand what the strategy of Mercedes was of not having picks, having entered the pit. And look at this. Steely and Star is fighting for P5. The both guys with hard tires and which is behave very well this GP today. Oops, now with a new medium tires, were chasing back because the guys before them haven't pit. Terry Hadley doesn't behave well today. He didn't got a good result in the quali and the Star doesn't look good also. Now Nishan Bafna enters the pit. He boxed and most guys in the grid has boxed now. Zahakan also entered the pit. And now the guys haven't pit is Schmidt, Star, Cillian, Oscar, and only the 4 haven't entered the pit. Felix Weber just entered the pit and big box now. Nash Rose with the new medium tires just overtake them. Actually interested if Star box now, where will he be? Oh Jesus. Look at this, Star and Beno. And Michael Schmidt is 5 seconds in front of them good nowadays, and Star, Stelian, and Lopes behind them. Lopes will already overtake them. He's actually in front of them and a long distance in front of them because these guys haven't entered the pit. Lopes will just overtake Stelian because of the tires, and Stars and Stelian, they both entered the pit. So only Michael Schmidt haven't boxed now. Oh, it's a really dangerous pit release. And this also, Jesus, I think they should release a penalty because that's really dangerous. Lopes get a fastest sector 1. Michael Schmidt haven't picked, but I think he will be catch up by Lopes soon. His tires is really bad now. If he don't pit now, it will be not good. He will lose his grip and he will crash maybe. But we cannot say what will happen. Lopes is 2 seconds behind him, just 1 lap. Lopes is catch up for 2 laps. And now Michael Schmidt will he pit this lap? Lopes is only 1 second behind them. It's really dangerous. And we cannot say the weather is actually looks not good now. The drivers are all pit. Why they pit? Oh, they're now enters. There's a rain. Oh, that's really sad news for Star and Steely and these guys. They just pit and they must pit again. They lose quite a lot of position. Yellow flag on sector 3. What happened there? Oh, it seems like someone crashed and it's Hedry. Hedry crashed, so there might be a safety car. Everyone's entered the pit and some guys has lose their position because both cars are pit. Okay, so it's a virtual safety car called Hedry in P11. I cannot say the Williams did a great strategy because they didn't let Alex pit, so he must lose his position and might crash as Hedry. Everyone's overtake Alex. Baspa, Oscar, Nash, Star, everyone's overtake him. Okra is overtaking him too. It's not this good news. Mia Schmidt just got the fastest lap. It looks like Alex is really struggling nowadays and he must enter the pit or crash. Only two choices in front of him. He's now dropped, I think. After the pit, he became the last and far away from Savo Witches. The second last. Now first Schmidt, second Lopes, third Scar, fourth Bafna, fifth is Hamish, sixth is Cook with Nach in seventh. Oh, look at this. Stillian just overtake Nash and Nash Rose will be overtaken by Star. Look at this. They now enter the last turn. The second last turn. Side by side, tie to tie, will start overtaking. He did his start, is now ahead of him, but there's another corner and we go get it. Nash get it back and okay, now Star finally overtake him. Look at this. Near is fight with Oscar. Bavna is only 0.5 seconds behind Scar, but it's raining, so if he want to overtake him here, it's really dangerous. In seconds. Now only 0.2 seconds left. The cake became closer and closer. And there, Bafna is trying to overtake Khan. The distance between them is now 0.4 seconds. And look at here, Lips in this corner. Is he inside and Schmidt in the outside? He overtake him. Up to P1. What a greatest overtake! And look at this. Bafna is P4, only 0.4 seconds behind Khan. Can this Aston Martin driver defend him? And look at Stillian, but still really close. William Smith. Okay, so Carson. It's a time now. It's time. Look at this corner. Okay, so Bafna is inside. He's going inside and he overtaken up to P3. What an amazing double overtake for both Mercedes in the same corner, and now the P1 and P3. But it seems like Bafna can make the distance between him and Michael Schmidt closer, but there's still 9 seconds, so I don't think he can catch up. It stopped a civil war between Mayer and Weber. Oh Jesus Christ! Oscar full start, a driver which with a lot of experience and drive Aston Martin just crashed in sector 2. He lose his position down to the 11, and it's true that he will lose his position too, and Weber crashed, so he may pit or not. He lose his oh Jesus Christ, what happened for these guys? Lopez and Schmidt just crashed the war. Oh, it's really a bad news for Lopez. He may go the winner. Oh, another crash for Nahis the Bafna. He crashed his teammates. What happened here? Okay, the track became dry and everyone crashed into the wall because they pushed too hard and they still was injured. The winters became as bad as they can, so they must pit now. So, unbelievable, another yellow flag. Yuko just crashed, Hamish just crashed too. No, but everybody cannot control their car, and who's this? Yuko almost crashed with Hamish. It's really dangerous. Oh, who's this? Star almost crashed. Oh, Jesus Christ, he destroyed his front wing. Jesus. Knock Rose, Louis Paspa still haven't hit war, and he's really lucky. Bafna also gets 5 seconds penalty for crash his teammate, and Felix Weber, he crashed the war. Two Haas drivers crashed their war. They did not control their car. They must pit now. They must pit as soon as possible. The Germany Grand Prix becomes so messy now, so messy, unbelievable. Everybody's crashed to the wall. They lose their car, but no safety car. No one has out of the race, so it's still good. Oh, 5-second penalty for Jordanko. He crashed, and he crashed Savo too. After the last corner, they will finish this race. Finally, so many people just crashed because of the dry track, and they have no grip. The game just finished with Schmitz P1, Bafna P2, Khan P3, Loves P4, Yuko P5.
Welcome to the Formula Pro Series race here in Baku. Nishan Bapner on pole from Mitchell Smith and Lopez. Then it's Ramesh Putswamy in 4th from Alex Varga and Star for Scuderia Ferrari. Shane Milan starts 7th from Yukio Guro and Abjit Nair. Then it's Savo Djurovic, Stilian Biandov and Oscar Folstad. 13th place starts Levi Basper, then it's Sahir Khan, Felix Weber and Nash Rose. Alongside him is teammate Ferry Headley, then Jaden Cole, Sebastian Ocampo and Leaf Electro. Well, I'm not commentating on the ERL. This is the Formula Pro Series race. As you can see, the 5 red lights going on. We get underway, and that's a very good start from Bashma as we look to Jaden Cole. Further down the order, Mitchell Smith looking for a way to hold on to 3rd position as Lopez going alongside him, heading down into the opening turn. He's covered that off by having the inside line, so that means that he's not going to be fought off by Lopez too well. However, Nishan Bapner still leading this race. As you can see further back, Ramesh Putswamy and Star fighting over 4th position, as well as Lopez trying to hold on to that podium place. Here comes Alex Varga up into 4th position, as that is one of the V-Carbs getting a 5-second time penalty. That is Nash Rose getting the time penalty. It's 5 seconds that he will serve in the pit lane. Biandov also getting a 5-second time penalty. But look at the fighting for position that we've got in the midfield. Looking further up front to Shane Milan for Red Bull Racing. You can see further up front and they're in the wall! Full course safety car. Alex Varga out of the race. Ramesh Putswamy involved in that incident. For the Audi driver, that is truly unfortunate. You can see on the timing tower, by the fact that he's got a 5-second time penalty, this was instigated by Alex Varga. He was trying to put his nose in a place where it just couldn't go, and for the Williams man, that's just how his day is going to have to end. As we look to start driving for Scuderia Ferrari up in 5th position. For an opening lap here in Baku, it has been rightfully chaotic. Safety car already out there on the track. So we're looking to the safety car pack led by race leader Nishan Bapner. Back here in Baku then, lap 3 of 17 coming to the tail end of it. As they're coming through the 3rd and final sector. It's actually one of the fastest sectors as the safety car is ending. Nishan Bapner will lead us back to green. She's on the main straight now. In comes the safety car now. You can see it peeling into the pit lane on board with the Mercedes man. And he's going to keep his foot on the floor now, accelerating to excess of 300 kilometers per hour as we are back underway in the Formula Pro Series race here in Azerbaijan. No moves being made into turn number 1, everyone staying quite single file. And I do have to say, in terms of the strategy, everyone's probably going to be doing the exact same thing apart from the Alpine driver of Leaf Electro and this man, Mitchell Smith, currently in 2nd position. I think Mitchell's going to try and leverage those medium tyres and try and make them go as long as possible, so then he can do his last off on the tyres that 18 of the 20 drivers started this race on, the soft tyres. That could help him try and take the lead, if not in the pits, then on track. As you're kidding me. That is Rose getting another 5-second time penalty to make it 10-second time penalties for Nash Rose in Azerbaijan. Not ideal as you look to Jaden Cole defending from Sebastian Ocampo. How long can he defend from the Audi driver for? Doesn't seem to be too much because they're already alongside each other. Can we go on board with them? No, because they're coming through the end of the 2nd sector. On board we go. What a move! He lunged down the inside, catapulting himself up into 15th. Brilliant from Sebastian Ocampo to get himself up there. As we look to Mitchell Smith, he's dropped 1.7 seconds off the race lead. Lopez, race leading teammate, trying to defend from the Red Bull driver right behind him. Nishan Bapner with a fastest lap of 129.8. Here comes the Red Bull of Shane Milan. Unfortunately, not quite able to make the move yet. Sparks coming off the back of both drivers' cars. And DRS available for all drivers as long as they're within a second of each other. On board with Lopez in that Batman helmet, driving for Mercedes, trying to close in, making a Mercedes 1-2. But he's also having to defend from Shane Milan, so it's not going to be that easy of a job. Nishant Bapner with the fastest first sector of anybody, 33.949. May only be lap 5 of 17, but Nishant has already checked out. On board with Yukio Guro, his teammate, that is Shane Milan's teammate. He's in 6th position behind Star, staying right behind him, not flying into the wall like Alex Varga did at the start of this race. Lucky for them, they are doing their best to keep it clean as they're coming through that little rise up the hill before the significant drop down. And they are still effectively keeping it single file in the mid-pack. So, in terms of everything, I think the most action that we're going to see is once the pit stops start to happen. Once we start seeing the pit stops, it's going to go absolutely mental when it comes to the different strategies that all the teams are going to have to start playing around with. Lap 6 of 17, we've surpassed 33% of the race distance. And we're still looking with Shane Milan, the Red Bull man, right behind the Mercedes of Lopez right in front of him. And yes, I am looking at a driver tracker because this is a series that I'm not really a part of. Levi Basper, winner in the United Kingdom after a very interesting strategy to say the least. He's on the back of Sahir Khan. This could be quite the fight for position, but you can see the tyres already, those soft tyres, already beginning to show signs of graining. Now with these tyres, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to have to pit quite early. You can see Mitchell Smith also experiencing the same tyre woes that the soft tyre runners are. And we've got yellows in the second sector. Who is that for? That's further back. I believe that might be Sebastian Ocampo involved. Green flags are out there, and it is Sebastian Ocampo. If I'm taking a look at the mini-map, he's had an off down there. Can he get his car back up running? He has got his car back up running, but what is that about? Wonder if we can get a replay or something like that, because we can't just let something like that go unnoticed. He might come into the pits. It might be front wing damage for him, but you can see the majority of the pack coming into the pits at the end of lap 6. 10 laps to go here in the Formula Pro Series race in Azerbaijan. Looking with Star then on those medium tyres. We're seeing a more colourful timing tower right now when it comes to the tyres in use as they come out of the pits. But Nishant Bapner still leading as we look to Star, looking for a way to try and get past Shane Milan. This could help Lopez. However, if Star does manage to get past, there's all the possibility that the Ferrari man does get past the Mercedes drivers. You look further back, that's the Alpine of Electro up into 13th. Not even 13th, he's up into 10th, 11th position. Get it right, me. As we're looking at Puddaswamy there, getting past Niven Colby, I believe it is as well. No, it's Jaden Cole. Of course, I've just recorded my IndyCar Series race, so if you want to watch that, I'm sure that you can just look up BDS Formula 1 in your YouTube search bar and you can find my channel. I've just been contracted to do some commentating today. But look at this from Lopez. Defending from the V-car behind, and not the Mercedes, the Red Bull of Shane Milan. However, he's up into 6th position with a monster lunge, and in fact, he's up to 5th. Race leader, Nishant Bapner, into the pits with the Red Bull of, if I can find it here, Yukio Guro coming into the pits as well for medium tyres. My, what a move. Will the V-Carb driver of Nash Rose come into the pits at the end of this lap? He is in. Yellow's in the 3rd sector. Track's been cleared once more. I think, I'm not sure of this, but I think that could be Thierry Headley. I'm trying to pronounce these names correctly because these are names that I don't have experience with. When it comes to the ERL and stuff like that, I can just bang it out immediately. As we're looking with Shane Milan alongside Lopez, heading through the second sector now. Lopez with the fastest first. Contact. Milan with a 5-second time penalty. He's lucky not to have damaged either car, but when you make a move like that, you expect to be penalised for that. And of course, 5-second time penalty being what was chosen to be done. But now the Mercedes men, second and third, and I think Lopez is going to be a lot safer here. The only man yet to make any stops is Leaf Electro. As you can see, the Alpine driver's teammate of Savo Djurovic getting a 5-second time penalty of his own. Sahir Khan up into 10th position ahead of Leaf Electro, and Khan clearing the other Alpine of Djurovic with 8 laps left to run. Nishant Bapner with the fastest third of anyone. Fastest lap goes to his teammate as Mitchell Smith comes out of the pits. He's going to be on the soft tyres. So in these last 8 laps of the race, he's going to have to try and punch above his weight. Those mediums, however, the teams now know, only really last 8 laps. They are going to have to come into the pits one more time. This is going to become a 2-stop race as we watch Shane Milan try and get himself up into 3rd position, holding on to the position ahead of Star, the Scuderia Ferrari driver, on board with the Ferrari man as he's fighting to try and get himself onto the podium. As it stands, Star would actually finish on the podium because of the Red Bull man's 5-second time penalty. But the question is, will Milan try and increase that gap? As I think those might be dark clouds coming over this part of Azerbaijan. Rain in Azerbaijan. A wet race to end this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There's little hope of that, as there goes Mitchell Smith up into 4th position. He's going to have a very good run on Shane Milan now. This strategy option from the Williams team has worked out beautifully to put him onto soft tyres. He's the only man on softs. It's raining! At the end of lap 9 of 17, rain falls in Azerbaijan, and in comes Nishant Bapner, in comes Lopez, in comes literally everyone, and that means time penalties will be served. A little bit of a time penalty for Lopez, of course, because Mercedes double stacking. Milan pits, everyone is in. Yukio Guro coming a cropper of an unsafe release, and he comes out in the path of one of the Haas's, I believe. But out of the pits then, Nishant Bapner is leading this race ahead of Smith, I believe. If not, Lopez might have actually jumped him. There's a possibility of that happening. Keep your eyes on the timing tower. On board with Levi Basper, as Lopez, unfortunately for him, still in 3rd, but he does have the fastest lap. He's following in the slipstream, the toe of the Williams driver of Mitchell Smith right in front of him, but he's going to have to defend from Star. No worry about defending if he can just make the move into turn 3. Almost contact between the two drivers fighting over the 2nd position on the podium. And still alongside each other. This one's going to take a long while to sort out. Into the wall goes the Mercedes man. Track limits warning for Lopez. That's not what he's going to be worried about. What he's going to be more worried about is that you can see that front wing has deformed. He's going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap lest he get a black flag with an orange disc, and he's in the wall. Lopez. Oh my goodness, that's Shane Milan with a time penalty once more. Fully broken front wing for him, and he's still in the wall. Drivers coming, hitting the side of his car. Yellow's in the 2nd sector, and that is another driver with a time penalty, and Lopez out of this race on board with Djurovic as he hits him. Full course yellow with 7 laps to go. Someone else got a time penalty. That was a Ferrari driver. Jaden Cole got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. I can only guess that would have been with the V-carb of Nash Rose. Full course yellow is ending as we begin lap 11 of 17. In this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, which has seen rain fall in its middle part of the race. But even with the rain, the same man still leads. It's Nishant Bapner. Started this race on pole, still leads. He's led an amazing race so far. We look Now to Star. He's going to have to be defending from Shane Milan. Takes the wider line to carry more speed and momentum. Doesn't help him too much as there goes the Red Bull man up into third position, and he's got no real hope of closing in unless he uses some ERS to close in on him. Doubt that's going to happen though. He probably wants to save that for the dying stages of this race. Felix Weber in 12th. Following the V-carb of Ferry Headley on board with the MoneyGram Haas driver. He's not close enough to try and make a move on the Visa Cash App Racing Bull driver in front of him. What a name for a team. But still, Nishant Bapner leading with 6 laps to go. The rain still falling here. It might actually be falling a little bit heavily. Could actually be like Class 2, Class 3 rain in a few laps. Mitchell Smith still in second position, but 5 seconds off the race lead. Doubt he's going to make any inroads on the challenge for the lead. Shane Milan, with that time penalty, would currently drop to, I believe, 6th possibly, with only a few more laps left to run here in Azerbaijan. Still watching the Red Bull man. He's going to have to start defending from start very soon. And by very soon, I might actually mean right now, coming out of turn number 2 and into 3. The first 3 turns around here in Azerbaijan, basically just simple 90-degree turns, but overtakes are certainly possible with these cars down there. We're looking with the Haas of Abject Nair. Looking further back to Levi Basper. Keeping my eyes on the timing tower just to make sure that a move for third hasn't been made yet. Felix Weber, however, looking for a way to get past Ferry Headley. And he is past him. He's not past him. Weber's still behind, in fact. He's way behind. Is he struggling out there in the wet conditions to even keep that car pointing in a straight line? Certainly possible. Certainly hope it's not what's going on, because you don't want to wish bad luck on a driver. The rain actually seems to be clearing up somewhat, but it's still certainly raining here in Azerbaijan with 5 laps to go. Still looking with the Haas man coming through the castle section of the track, a castle section that has seen the retirement of 2 drivers in this race. We're on to lap 3 of 17, those 2 drivers being Lopez and Alex Varga with 4 laps to go. He's doing what he can, of course, but I don't think what he can is going to be enough to try and get himself up into 11th, let alone past the man currently in 10th. But a move has been made for the podium position. Star has found his way ahead of the Red Bull driver of Shane Milan. On board with Milan, heading into turn number 3, pulls to the inside. This could be a move to be made. Into turn number 3 they go. Seems to be a simple move, almost contact made. They're still alongside each other as they come through 4. Into turn 5, they're about to go. A lot shorter of the straight. It's a chicane, 5 and 6. And there goes, out of the race goes the Red Bull driver. Contacts with Star as well. Out goes Shane Milan. We're watching his teammate, and my goodness, that could have been a great fight for the lead. Could have been an amazing fight for the lead, but unfortunately, it's a fight for the lead that just doesn't happen. Fight for the podium, rather. And that is going to have to be the end of the day for Shane Milan. And honestly, after the qualifying he had, the race he was having, that's just unfortunate. Yes, he's had a time penalty, possibly even 2. It's just not ideal in the slightest. Nishan Bapner, however, still having the ideal race. So we're under safety car conditions. Onto lap 14 we go. As he catches the back of the safety car. 3 laps to go. Will we get this race back underway? That's the question now. Will we get back underway? Is there enough time left in the race? The sun is breaking through the clouds. The track is drying up. They're coming into the pits for dry tyres. Nishan Bapner has passed the pit lane and the track is now dry. He's going to drop positions if he can't make it to the pits in time. He's heading into turn 3. The driver's coming out of the pits right now. I'm not too sure on this. I'm going to predict this right now, but Bapner is probably going to drop outside of the top 10. If that happens, that's so unfair on the part of the strategy team. He went so fast that he just couldn't make the swap to new tyres quick enough, and that is Mitchell Smith, who also made the same mistake. Star could be the man to try and win this race here in Azerbaijan. There's only a handful of laps left to go, and we've gone from dry to wet. And now at the dying stages of this, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the Formula Pro Series, it's dry again. You could not write this. The F1 movie ain't got nothing on this. But still watching the Mercedes man and the Atlassian Williams racing driver right behind him. With 3 laps to go, you can see Star and the Audi driver of Ramesh Putswami coming very close behind him. Sebastian Ocampo is going to gain from this as well, because he's going to be able to close up to the back of the pack. But the question is, can he do like his teammate and get himself into the top 10 with the amount of laps that we should have before this race ends? Likelihood is we probably won't. There's not too much time left in this Grand Prix. Ooh, a little bit of frame stoppage there. We're looking at safety car train, and yes, Star and Putswami have closed up to the back of this little gaggle of cars. So yeah, Batner and if I've got this right, Mitchell Smith, yeah, both of those two drivers, they're going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap and drop well outside of the top 10. It's not a free pit stop like everyone else is getting, and that will put Star into the race lead here in Azerbaijan. We watch the Mercedes team get those soft tyres on for the end of this race, and you're kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me. Yukio Guro came out of the pits on hard tyres. That's an unsafe release from Williams. Sebastian Ocampo came out of the pits on hard tyres. The Haas driver of Felix Weber, he's coming into the pits for his 4th stop of the day, coming off of those intermediate tyres. And Sebastian Ocampo, he's on the hards as well. We're on to the penultimate lap then. Coming to the end of the penultimate lap. Will we get this race back underway, or will we have another lap under the safety car? Will this race end with Milan's incident? No, it won't. The safety car is coming to the pits at the end of this lap. We will have one more lap of racing. It's going to come down to Star for the Scuderia Ferrari team and Ramesh Putswami for Audi as they now head down to the start-finish straight. Here we go, lap 17 of 17. The final lap in Azerbaijan begins now. And that's a very good getaway once again from Star. He's going to have to defend with all his might from the Audi man behind him, as well as the Haas driver of Abjad Nair. With all he's got, there are still some dark clouds above this track, but it will not impact the outcome of this race. Batner came out of the pits in 10th. Mitchell Smith came out of the pits in 8th. Batner's now up into 9th position, keeping my eyes on the timing tower in case a move is made for the lead. In fact, the gap is closing at a rate of knots. Mitchell Smith up into 7th position. He's trying to charge through the field. Star with the fastest first sector of anyone. Switching to the inside. Very late move there, but he gets himself past Levi Bapt, but at the very least alongside, rather, into this next turn. Babner's still with him as they come into the castle section of the track. Alongside each other, up the hill they go, keeping it out of the wall. Mitchell Smith to P6, and it's a late charge for the Williams man. He can try and get a podium, as that is Cole getting a 5-second time penalty, which will be added to his final race time. That will drop him further back. Nishan Babner to P7, but further up front, a fastest second sector for the Ferrari driver. He had victory handed to him on a silver platter. As he comes through the final turn, he may have Ramesh Putswami behind him, but this man's been an absolute star all day. Star wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it's under a second behind for Ramesh Putswami. We're going to see an absolute influx of fastest laps, aren't we? Very close finish for 5th. But Mitchell Smith not able to take the 5th position away, as we see Okampo come across. But it is Starr who takes victory ahead of Ramesh Patwami and Abjit Nair. It's an all-Indian podium today. And I know for a fact, for the country with the most people, they are going to be the country with the most joy today. I can tell you that much for free. But with all of that out of the way, we will see you all next time then when the Formula Pro Series returns.